Have you ever heard of a single person who was a master mathematician, a groundbreaking astronomer, a deep philosopher, and a world-renowned poet all at once? It sounds almost impossible, right? But this isn't a fictional character. This is the story of a true historical giant, a man whose mind was so brilliant that his work continues to influence us nearly 1,000 years after he lived. Today, we're diving into the incredible life of Omar Khayyam. Born in 1048 in the city of Nishapur, a bustling center of culture and learning in what is now Iran, Omar Khayyam grew up during the height of the Islamic Golden Age. This was a time of immense intellectual curiosity and scientific advancement, and young Omar was right at the heart of it. He showed an extraordinary aptitude for learning from a very early age, mastering subjects that would take others a lifetime to grasp. His reputation as a brilliant mind quickly spread, and he soon found himself in the great cities of the Seljuk Empire, like Samarkand and Isfahan, working under the patronage of powerful rulers who recognized his genius. Let's start with his mathematical achievements, because they are truly mind-blowing for his time. If you've ever struggled with algebra, you can thank Omar Khayyam for making it a more structured science. He wrote a revolutionary book called the Treatise on Demonstration of Problems of Algebra. In this masterpiece, he did something no one had done before. He provided a systematic way to solve cubic equations. These are the tricky equations where the unknown variable is raised to the power of 3. While European mathematicians would grapple with these problems for another 500 years, Khayyam figured out a brilliant method using geometry. He showed how you could find the solutions by finding the exact points where different conic sections, like circles, parabolas, and hyperbolas, intersect. It was a visual and logical leap that was centuries ahead of its time. He didn't just solve problems, he organized them, classifying equations in a way that laid the groundwork for future generations of mathematicians. He truly helped build the foundations of modern algebra. But Khayyam's gaze wasn't just fixed on numbers and shapes on a page. It was also directed towards the heavens. His work in astronomy is perhaps his most practical and enduring legacy. The Seljuk Sultan, Malik Shah, recognized that the existing calendar was falling out of sync with the seasons. This was a big problem for agriculture, for religious observances, and for administrative purposes. So he tasked Omar Khayyam with a monumental project: to reform the calendar. Khayyam assembled a team of the brightest astronomers of the age and set up an observatory in the capital city of Isfahan. For years, they meticulously observed the sun's path, calculating the exact length of a year. The result of their labor was the Jalali calendar, named in honor of the Sultan. Now, here's the amazing part. The Jalali calendar calculated the length of a year as 365.242 days. Modern science, with all our atomic clocks and advanced technology, puts the figure at 365.242224 days. The difference is astonishingly small. This means Khayyam's calendar was, and still is, more accurate than the Julian calendar that was used in Europe for centuries, and it's even slightly more precise than the Gregorian calendar that most of the world uses today. The Gregorian calendar drifts by 1 day every 3,330 years, while Khayyam's Jalali calendar only drifts by 1 day every 5,000 years. It's a stunning testament to his precision and dedication. Imagine creating something 1,000 years ago that is still a benchmark for accuracy today. So, he's a mathematical genius and a master astronomer. Surely, that's enough for one person, right? Not for Omar Khayyam. Beyond the world of proofs and planets, he was a profound philosopher. He grappled with the biggest questions of all. What is the nature of existence? Do we have free will, or is our fate predetermined? What is our purpose in this vast, mysterious universe? He explored these complex ideas with a sharp, rational mind, often questioning orthodox beliefs and encouraging a spirit of skepticism and inquiry. He believed in logic and reason as the primary tools for understanding the world. This philosophical depth is the soul of his most famous literary work, and that brings us to Omar Khayyam, the poet. All around the world, he is perhaps best known for his collection of poems called the Rubaiyat. A rubai is a four-line stanza, a quatrain, and Khayyam perfected this form. In these short, powerful verses, he poured all of his philosophical musings. His poetry is not about grand epics or romantic tales. It's about the raw, unfiltered experience of being human. He writes about the fleeting nature of life, the inevitability of death, the joy of living in the moment, and the search for meaning in a world that often seems to have none. One of his famous quatrains in its English translation by Edward Fitzgerald goes, "The moving finger writes, and having writ, moves on, nor all thy piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all thy tears wash out a word of it." These lines capture his sense of fate and the unstoppable passage of time. Yet his poetry isn't depressing. On the contrary, it's often a call to action. Since life is short and our fate is out of our hands, Khayyam urges us to seize the day, to find joy in simple pleasures like a loaf of bread, a jug of wine, and the company of a loved one. His carpe diem philosophy has resonated with people across cultures and centuries. The Rubaiyat has been translated into hundreds of languages and remains one of the most beloved collections of poetry ever written. It shows us the human side of the great scientist, a man who, after a day of calculating the stars, would sit and ponder the beautiful, tragic, and wonderful mystery of it all. Omar Khayyam's life is a powerful reminder that the human mind has no limits. He was a polymath in the truest sense of the word, a person whose expertise spanned a significant number of different subject areas. He bridged the gap between the rigid logic of science and the emotional depth of art. His work in algebra pushed the boundaries of mathematics. His calendar corrected our understanding of time itself. And his poetry continues to touch the hearts of millions, reminding us to appreciate the precious, fleeting moments of our lives. He wasn't just a product of the Islamic Golden Age. He was one of its brightest stars, a universal genius whose legacy is written in the equations of algebra, the movements of the stars, and the timeless verses of his Rubaiyat. A man who truly understood both the mechanics and the magic of the universe. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the life of the incredible Omar Khayyam. If you found this story as inspiring as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe Freedom Mind channel for more deep dives into history's most fascinating minds. Let me know in the comments which historical figure you'd like to learn about next. Until then, stay curious